Hello crafty friends, I hope that you've been doing well and welcome to the second installment of my Japan yarn haul video. Or as I also like to refer to it, Clarissa could have spent a lot more money on yarn than she did, and she may or may not have regrets. But since that is a very long title, we will simply refer to it as the Japan yarn haul video part 2. Now, there's other things that I'm going to share with you today that are not yarn haul, but they are all fiber or crochet related. So I do hope you don't mind that too much and that you let me know your thoughts on all these purchases and what crafts you are interested in, because I know that some of us are multi-craftual. I myself have literally dabbled in sewing, felting, embroidery, cross-stitching, of course crochet, and knitting are like the main crafts I work in, but as evidenced by that sewing machine over there, I do dabble in lots of things. I call myself a crafty witch or a kitchen witch because I do bake a lot. I actually haven't baked almost anything this year. That's sad. But we're only in March, so actually April. Oh my God. I'm filming this in the end of March and I decided to film it today because I got all dressed up to take finished pictures and videos of the last newest top, which I am wearing for your viewing pleasure. This top will be released, what day is it today? 27th of March. It'll be released Easter weekend, yes. So I'm actually going to be flying to visit my mom and my nephew and my brother and my sister to Alabama. We're all going together. Unfortunately, my dad couldn't make it because, guys, the tickets from Puerto Rico to Alabama were almost 2,000 grand. Like, what? So unfortunately, my dad won't be there physically, but of course we're going to FaceTime him and all that. And also, unfortunately, Edison will have to stay here in Florida because I think I've mentioned it previously, but my dog was booted out of daycare because they were getting very, very busy, and he did not like so many dogs next to him. So it was a soft booting out. Like, they did say, if you call ahead and we're not too busy, we'll take him in, but we didn't want to risk it for his own health, and you know, we didn't want to, perhaps if the situations were escalated, have an all-out dog fight. So yeah, my husband is gonna have to stay here taking care of him. And yeah, forgot where I was going with this. So yes, the last newest top will be making its way to you on Easter weekend, and you can learn all about this top if you head over to my website to read the free version of this pattern, which is also the old version of this pattern. So this has gone through a major overhaul. Just want to warn you about that, which is why you can't purchase it right now on Ravelry or Etsy. I am going to be updating this pattern, so if you've purchased it previously on Ravelry, you will get a update for this pattern. The price is going up to reflect all the extra elements and materials that are going into the pattern. But yes, that's the first elephant in the room. The second elephant is that bloom top over there. I started the regrading process for it, so that pattern will be released a lot sooner than like it's taking me to release the last newest top. But that is enough on that chatter. Let's head on over back to Japan. The last time we spoke, I said we ended our journey in Osaka, but I found something that I had not talked about. And that is that near to the hotel, just, you know, walking down streets, I found like a little magazine stand, and I just went in and asked if they had any crochet books, and they did. So I will translate this and put the translation here. So editing Clarissa, please do that. But I chose to do the granny because I know that many of us love granny square projects and things like that, and I just thought, hey look, grannies are beloved in Japan as well. So it's like a universal love language. My favorite is obviously this collar. And you might be wondering, how are you gonna just, you know, do this? And well, friends, this book is all made up in charts, and I can read charts, so that will be fun, I think. Also, I think this is really fun They included 2 charts here, so one for a purse and one for a vest. I love patterns like that. So yeah, that's a fun little purchase that I did in Osaka. But now we can officially board the train from Osaka. Well, technically we were going to Koyasan, but there was no yarn there. So let's head over to Nara near Kyoto. So for Nara, we actually didn't stay a whole day there. We just went for a couple of hours so that we would visit Nara Park, as you do, to get harassed by deer. Seriously, they bite hard. So walking back from Nara Park through kind of like the main street, let's say, I just looked to my right and I saw yarn and fabrics, and I went in. Because as a crafty person, of course you're not going to ignore this blaring sign from the universe that you have to walk into this shop. So the shop name was Itotemari, and I'm going to include the link here to anything I find of them, so check the description box below. Itotemari, I'm not sure how many floors it had. I went to 2 floors. The first floor of this store, it was all fabrics, beautiful, lovely, gorgeous fabrics, and also excellent music choices because they had a Spy Family soundtrack. Of course, you're not hearing that in the footage that I am sharing with you because copyright reasons. I just did not want to push that. But if you feel like you need to for ambience, pause this video and look up for the Spy Family song, click it and watch it as you're watching this footage, because then you can be right in that store with me. So the first floor, as I mentioned, were fabrics, and I put 2 items into my bag. No, I digress. Sorry, it was fabrics, and they had embroidery, and they had so many things. So of course I had to include 2 things in my basket, and one of them is this Alice in Wonderland fabric. I love Alice in Wonderland, mostly because of the quote, "We're all mad here." And yeah, I just adore this fabric. It's cotton, and it was designed by Cosmo Textile in Japan. You can follow them on Instagram. And it is designed and printed in Japan. So I'll include that Instagram link for this textile down below. I also got my husband a fabric that he requested so that I sew a corn purse for him. And of course it had to be the Hachi fabric, or looks like Hachi. Anyway, it's a Shiba probably, or an Akita. So I got that. And then footage of the yarn store, because the second floor was a yarn store and it had so much yarn. It was just beautiful. I believe these were more commercial yarns, and one of the funny things, or curious things actually, one of the curious things that I found while walking through the store is that you had 2 prices on the yarn, and one of them was for buying the yarn pack. So they would leave the yarn inside the pack, and you can either open that pack and pick out how much yarn you want. So you saw the price of the individual skeins or hanks of yarn, and then the other price was if you wanted to take that whole yarn pack with you, which I think is great because you don't have to look at dye lots, you're not mixing dye lots, it's all there. And the other great thing is that they had some sock yarn. Of course they did. But the thing is that the sock yarn, they crocheted socks to show you the sample of the yarn, and I love that. You don't usually see crochet socks as samples for yarn of showing you, what the colorway is going to look like and all that. I did not purchase a lot of yarn in Itotemari, but one of the purchases that I absolutely love is a book. And it's by the company Applemints, and this says Aran Pattern Knitting, but it's the knit cable pattern and then the crochet cable pattern. So each page of this book comes with the knit version of the cable pattern and then the crochet version on the other side. And again, it's all charted. So just gonna have to learn how to read cable charts, and we can head off from there. I had originally thought that it would be kind of cool if I crocheted each square, shared that with you, and then we could put it together in probably like a sample blanket, kind of like what they did here. This is the knit version of the patterns. And the book does include two patterns, I believe. So one is for the blanket that I shared with you, kind of putting it together. And then the other is for that gorgeous crochet bag. This is the crochet version of some of the cables that are included in the blanket. So I'm excited to share this with you because it's not like, it's a stitch dictionary for both knitting and crochet, and I loved that. So I got that, and I also got one of the presents for mom. It's a Shiba Inu kit, so it's to felt a Shiba Inu, and it's got all the things minus the needles, of course. So I got that for her, and for me, for yarn purchases, I found some on clearance, and this is Katerina, made in Japan. It's like a grass sage, like a grass green, but you know the grass when it's kind of dry season, it's not really green, but it's also not really yellow. So it's that color, and the yarn is 65% silk, 35% cotton, I believe. It's a cotton silk blend. I don't remember which percentage was silk, which percentage was cotton, but I bought this because I wanted to crochet myself a birthday Bellini bralette designed by Chelsea of Knitting Tipsy. It's a tutorial that she shared for her Ko-fi subscribers. And I started it, and this yarn feels like paper. The blend of cotton silk and the way it's two plies together, it really feels like paper in a way, like the raffia texture or a 100% linen flax yarn. So it's interesting, and I just crocheted a little portion of it. I am going to wash it and see how the fabric changes. Now I know that silk actually weakens with water, so I'll be very gentle with this. But I got two balls. They were 40 grams each, which is interesting. I found that a lot of the yarn in Japan was either 40 grams or 25 grams when it came in a little ball. So I also got crochet hooks. I got a 2mm crochet hook and a 2.3mm crochet hook. I got the 2mm because I didn't have it in my collection, and I got the 2.3 because I'd never seen that size. So yeah, it's interesting. And you know, honestly, I think that crochet hooks should come in all millimeter ranges because there is a slight difference between a 4.25mm and a 4.5mm, and then a 4.75. Sometimes you just need that little 0.25mm difference in order to get gauge. So I got that 2.3. So all in all, that was my haul in Itotemari. And next we head to Kyoto, where I did not actually purchase yarn, but I did go to a sewing store that was in Teramachi. So this is Nomura Tailor House. I also have some footage for you. They had beautiful, beautiful fabrics, all sorts, just some pre-cut, some that you would ask for the whatever amount you needed, some on sale. I got this granny square fabric, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna make with it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it. I might gift it, but yes, I couldn't resist that. So with that, we actually head all the way to Tokyo. Specifically, when we got to our final hotel stay in Tokyo, I walked by myself. I'm very proud. It's not that I'm afraid of walking in Japan. It's really, really safe. It's that I'm not the best at following Google Maps. But we got there in the end, and from the hotel I made my way to Walnut Tokyo, which was the small indie dyed shop yarn store. It was really cozy, and I mentioned in the video that it also had some Liberty fabrics and other linen fabrics as well. And I had a wonderful conversation with the owner and found out that they have two stores. It's Walnut Tokyo and Walnut Kyoto. So I probably could have gone to a yarn store in Kyoto as well. So in this store, I didn't ask for to be able to take video footage and all the conversations I had with the owner, but I do have some pictures. Because I was sending mom pictures in case she wanted any yarn or anything like that. And this was the store that I said was full of amirisu, which is hand-dyed, but also big commercial company as well. And I decided to treat myself to Wanderlust linen for your summer adventure, 100% linen from Amirisu. And it's beautiful. Anyway, so this is Borneo color 12, and it is fingering weight linen. Okay, if you're interested, you can also purchase from amirisu.myshopify.com. You can also find Amirisu there, so I will link that below. I will also link the store where I got it from, Walnut Tokyo, because it is beautiful and it's not out of the way, but it is tucked in a little corner. And this is a very olive green linen yarn that I got because I bought a Sandra of Nomad Stitches pattern that is worked in linen. She works it in sport weight linen, but we all know I I do stuff like change the yarn. So I got 50 grams, I think it's 100 grams total. They're 50 grams each. That was the first day. The second day, I took my husband because I told him, let's pick out your sweater for next year. He chose a knit sweater this time, and he chose his yarn. So we got a garment amount, 500 grams of also amirisu. This was Tech hand-dyed 100% merino wool, 100 grams, 382 yards, house-dyed yarn. And look at that label, like it has a house in the woods. So this is their hand-dyed collection, and it's a blend of just golds and blues and some greens mixed in there. By the way that it's dyed, I think it might pool, which is interesting. I've never worked with pool, like yarn that pools in knitting, but we will see. I am excited actually to cast this on. I'm itching to cast things on. So these were the purchases in Walnut Tokyo. It was a beautiful store and the owner was really lovely. Both days that I went, there were people knitting, like they had a knitting circle in the store, and it was just lovely seeing people just gather together, you know, with green tea and going to the store to knit and actually purchasing the yarn from the store and then just sitting down to knit, or the needles if they forgot them. So it was a really fun, lively environment. And if you're in Tokyo, this was located in Minato City. I should make those distinctions because Tokyo is big, right? We have Shibuya Tokyo, we have Ueno Tokyo, we have Tokyo, we have Narita Tokyo, we have Minato City Tokyo, so big. So just saying, Walnut Tokyo in Minato City. And for the last day of yarn storing was the day of my birthday, where we headed out to Ueno, Tokyo to celebrate my birthday, and we went to a Sanrio character cafe, so Hello Kitty, Pochako, Batsumaru cafe, and then I found a yarn store. And in this yarn store, it was actually more of a craft store. It was a gorgeous top floor, just full of all sorts of crafts, sewing, felting again, bag making, like just beautiful. All the crafts were there. And I actually forgot the name of the store, so I'll include it here. I became a member of this store because you bought a membership for like $5 and then you had access to all the store discounts. So am I ever gonna go back to Japan? were hoping for. Our friends were really excited, and they themselves started thinking, oh, maybe we can save up so that in 2024 we can all go. And my husband just jumped on that. We're like, oh, so who knows? Maybe I will head back to all these yarn stores. But I did treat myself to one purchase, and it was this Vincent van Gogh opal sock yarn. Now I know, I said I didn't really want to buy single skeins, but I absolutely loved this yarn from the Van Gogh collection. It's based on their sunflower, on his sunflower painting. And oh, you can see kind of like how it's gonna knit it up. It's got oranges, tangerines, peaches, sky blues, minty blues. Sorry about that, that's my phone. Let me put it on mute. There we go. And browns, and then army greens. So it's beautiful. At least I think so. And I'm gonna make myself a pair of socks with this. So I bought this one specifically for me to cast on some birthday socks. And then I remembered I did not take any knitting needles. So could have bought some, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Probably bought some there so I could cast on immediately for my birthday, but I did not. I also bought garment quantities of yarn for my mother, and it's washable cotton, fingering weight cotton. So this was on sale for like $10 for the pack, which brought 250 grams of cotton yarn. And then there were 2 loose balls. So I bought all that was left of this color. It's a very like silvery light gray ombre effect, and it is 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. Like I said, it's 25-gram balls. So let me block the sun. So those were the total purchases, the total yarny purchases that I made. That really is it for all the haul. And do I wish I had bought more? Like I said, some stores, yes. This craft store, I kind of really wanted to buy some embroidery kits because they were beautiful. Like, they were embroidery kits for coin purses or wall hangings or miniatures. Like, they had, so if you do miniatures and you paint miniatures, they had that there as well. Like, it was a beautiful store. So in terms of craft store, like everything that you could possibly want to see, I highly recommend this craft store in Ueno. I went to the one in Ueno, Tokyo, but I think this is the same craft store that has one multi-level craft store that you can get absolutely lost in. So yeah, if you're ever in Tokyo, I highly recommend this craft store because it really had everything. In terms of commercial yarns, I really liked Ito Temari as well, and that one's in Nara. Very accessible. Like, we just went to Nara, like as I said, for a couple of hours. So if you find yourself just in Nara for a couple of hours, you will see this Ito Temari store. It's right on the main street that you need to walk up to head to Nara Park, so it's not out of the way at all. And for the indie lusciousness, Walnut Tokyo or Walnut Kyoto is definitely a must. And if you go to Walnut Tokyo, that's where I talked to, I think she was the owner. Pretty sure she was the owner. She was lovely, and it's got beautiful yarn. Actually, in our conversations, she was saying that they mostly get knitters in that store. They don't really get people that crochet with the yarn. And I'm like, oh, let me show you my Instagram page full of all the crochet garments. So yes, I fully enjoyed my trip to Japan. You know, it's not just about all the craft stores, but it is. Just saying. It was just a great overall experience, and we've talked about this before, but for me, yarn and fabrics make perfect souvenirs because they are things that you are buying in a special place and you're gonna make something great with them and you're always gonna remember that trip. So it's not like something that you're gonna get rid of easily or, you know, like throw away, because you might just gift it. Sometimes we make a lot of things and we end up gifting them to people because we can't keep all of it. We want all of it to be treasured. So yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed this Japan yarn haul installment video, and I will keep you updated in this YouTube channel with what I make with all of these things. Now, some of them aren't for me. So the felting kit is not for me, that's for mom. And this cotton, which I bought 300 grams of, is for mom, it's not for me. So that also gets put aside. But for the rest, they are for me. The fabrics, I'm really not sure what I'm gonna make with them. Like I said, they're cotton, and I think this one the Alice in Wonderland might even be like a cotton linen blend. It feels like a canvasy type of fabric, which wouldn't be good for a garment. But I don't know, part of me just feels like sticking it on a frame and just sticking it on my wall. A piece of it at least. Or in an embroidery hoop. Oh, that would be really cute. Buy an embroidery hoop, crochet around it, and yeah, put that up there as decoration. Fun. Might do that. As I've said multiple times, that is it for this Japan yarn haul video. Let me know which of these yarns you've used before, or which of these yarns you would like to use, and what would you make with it. I did buy garment quantities of several yarns, as you know, and as I said, I'm very excited to cast on some knitting projects. Like, my brain really just wants 3 of me so that each of us can be working on a different project, and I want to finish them all in like a week. It's getting to that point where I have so many ideas that I want to work on that I just want to work on all of them and have them complete. I don't want to go through the process of it. I want the end item. But I'm trying to pace myself because we all know that I have wrist issues, so I don't want to make those worse. So thank you for coming along on this Japan yarn haul journey with me. I do have, like I said, ideas of the next videos that are going to be coming out, and those are going to be Las Nubes top related. And then after that, I might do the craft room tour. I only had one of you guys comment that you would like to see it, but it was exciting enough for me. So when I get this craft room a little bit organized, because it's a mess. I started organizing my yarn stash and I have one shelf left, and that is the wool shelf, which is the messiest shelf of them all. But I do want to organize it because I am going to be pulling out giveaway prices for the celebration crochet along from the wool shelf, because I have some beautiful things that need new homes, because I bought them at a time when I liked a color that I might not like anymore, or because I really like the yarn and I want someone else to have a good experience with it. So I'm going to be rehoming it as well. And speaking of the celebration crochet along, I've checked the hashtag, which I'm going to put here for you guys, and I haven't found any projects. So I'm not sure if you've been tagging and the projects are just not there, or if nobody's tagged and that's why there's no projects, because I've tagged 2 of my reels with the hashtag celebration crochet along and they have not shown up. So I wonder what is up with that, which is good news that my husband is going to be working on getting that Discord all set up so that perhaps by the 2nd week of April, we can have that Discord channel ready, and there will be a crochet along channel in the Discord so that we can all join, chat, share our projects, share our thoughts, and not have to worry about algorithms and things like that. So yes, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you liked what I shared in today's video. If you did like it, then don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and do let me know if you're interested in seeing more videos like this. I don't often buy yarn, but I have bought yarn recently that I just haven't shared. So if you would like to see what's in my stash and what I most often use, then also comment down below. I have also had requests on Instagram to do a tools review, so just tools that I really enjoy using, putting them all together in a video for you guys and giving out those recommendations. So I will take that into consideration. And like I said, also thinking about doing a hook review, just specifically a hook review, because I have a lot of hooks and I use them all for different purposes. So yes, there are all of that will be coming your way. So if you're interested in any of these things that I mentioned that will be appearing soon in the channel, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you already subscribed, thank you so much for joining me week after week in this crafty channel. So until we meet each other again, I hope that you have lots of crafty you time. I want to wish you a very, very happy crafting. I will see you again soon in a video. And have a good one, my crafty friends. Enjoy life. Happy crafting. Bye.